Hey guys and girls, I'm Shawn. I've been learning the guitar for 2 months. What I've been doing most days during these first few weeks of guitar learning is recording little clips of my fingertips so I can piece them together into a short little journey for you curious folks out there who are wondering what it's like for the fingertips when you start learning guitar. The soreness, the weird colours, the shedding, the formation of calluses. Piece it together, put it out there. If you don't like gross stuff, maybe don't watch. If you do, let's dive in and check it out. So day 1, the fingertips are sore, red and tender. I could only practice 10 minutes at a time, a few times each day. They remained very much like this for the first 11 days or so. On the 12th day, small shedding appeared for the first time on the middle finger. After 2 weeks, the shedding or skin peeling had begun on all 3 of the main fretting fingers. By now I was practicing up to 20 minutes a couple of times per day. I didn't apply hand moisturiser at any point, I just left my fingers to naturally deal with it. Day 16 was much of the same, with the shedding area increasing on all 3 most used fingers. The pinky was yet to be used much at this point. Day 18, you can see the fingertips have smoothed out a little and string marks from where I'm pressing down too hard like a typical beginner. It's important not to rip the skin off or it'll be very sore. Just let it naturally shed as the skin underneath will be ready to replace it. After almost 3 weeks, the first shedding has calmed down a lot and the fingertips are noticeably firmer and kind of dry and crispy. Practice sessions were usually around 30 minutes each at this point, and I was doing that twice per day, so about 1 hour of total practice per day. By day 22, that first initial shedding had finished and the fingertips were becoming firmer each day with a little shine to the skin. Day 24, much of the same, with the fingertip skin continuing to gradually become firmer. Approaching 1 month, the skin is very dry, and it was around this time I could extend my practice sessions to be as long as 40 to 45 minutes at a time. I always made sure I hit at least 1 hour of practice throughout the day. Day 29, and you can see just how shiny the fingertips are as the calluses are nicely forming. There's also noticeable redness on the pinky finger, as by now I had started using it a lot more with certain finger exercises and chords. After 1 month, hard patches of skin had formed on the tips. Again, it's vital to let these toughen up, as pulling them off would expose raw skin, which would be very sore and basically put things back to day 1. Day 31 was much of the same, and it was similar for the following few days as the skin became firmer and crisper. By day 34, you can see the dead skin clearly forming on the tips. Very tempting to rip it off or trim it back with scissors or clippers, but don't. Just be very careful. When the time is right, you'll see me gently file away the dead skin with an emery board or nail file. The forming of calluses was well underway by day 37. I had to be very careful not to rip them with the guitar strings during practice sessions. I perhaps should have filed the skin down on this day, but I chose to wait and did it the next day. So on day 38, I took an emery board to my fingertips for the first time and carefully filed away the jagged edges that had formed on the calluses. And this is how they looked afterwards, much smoother and with no risk of the skin being ripped off. Day 40, I gently went over the fingertips again with the emery board to further smooth them out, as I could still feel small bits of sharp, dry skin in areas. I haven't yet had to do this again since. And now they are the smoothest they had been in 40 days. Day 43, the toughening up continues. By now I was able to practice for pretty much 1 full hour in 1 session if I chose to do so. I still ensured I practiced for at least that full hour or so per day. small bits of dry skin would still form as the calluses continued to take shape. These would now naturally just fall away while washing my hands or something. Day 47, this is just after a practice session, so you can see the dark greenish colour on my fingertips and on the calluses that are clearly forming. This dark greeny brownish black is caused by oxidation. The copper and bronze found in many strings, especially acoustic strings, reacts with the moisture from our fingers and oxidizes or corrodes. It's nothing to worry about, just gently wash your hands. It also helps to carefully wipe clean the fretboard and strings before and after every session. Day 50 and the fingertips are now looking nice and smooth. It's difficult to tell, but to the touch they are definitely firm. With different lighting on day 53, it's a lot easier to see just how dry and tough the calluses are becoming. Definite guitarist fingers taking shape. Now I just have to continue with the practicing and learning. And from day 54 onwards they have remained very similar to this. They are perhaps less dry looking nowadays than they were right here and continue to become firmer, but there's been no noticeable difference in the appearance. Please do subscribe to follow my guitar learning journey. Take care with those fingertips.